All right, the Delhi High Court has begun hearing ED's petition against bail to Arvind Kejriwal. The ED's challenged the trial court bail order, and we're getting you details of exactly what's been mentioned. The Enforcement Directorate, in their plea in the Delhi High Court, have mentioned Hawala transactions in detail. They've also said that bail has been granted to Kejriwal without the ED getting an opportunity to oppose it in court. So that is the premise on which they're currently arguing in the Delhi High Court. Shrishti Ojha is joining us live with more details on this. We also have with us our legal editor, Nalini Sharma. But Shrishti, I'm going to come across to you first for those live updates of what's happening right now in the High Court.
Well, Akshita, yes, the hearing on the petition filed by ED against the bail granted to Arvind Kejriwal is going on, and as my colleague Kanu Sharda is sending us live updates from the Delhi High Court, the arguments, it's Kejriwal's lawyer, Senior Advocate Vikram Chaudhary, who began the arguments, raising questions on the remarks that have allegedly been made by Enforcement Directorate in its petition before the High Court. He's taken strong objection to those comments, saying that the plea that ED has basically made is to cancel the bail that has been granted to Arvind Kejriwal, but it should not have made the remarks that it has made in its plea. The court also questioned if those remarks have in fact also been made a part of the petition, to which Kejriwal's lawyers informed the court that yes, ED has gone ahead and made these remarks in its petition before the High Court. We have the Additional Solicitor General S.V. Raju calling the trial court's order perverse, objecting. He's also taking court through the Section 45, which lays down the conditions for grant of bail under the PMLA. Arvind Kejriwal's lawyers have questioned as to whether it is an exceptional category case for the ED to have moved the High Court in such urgency and during the vacations. According to Arvind Kejriwal's lawyers, there's absolutely no question of stay as far as the bail order is concerned that was passed yesterday. Even in its petition before the High Court, ED has raised a few grounds. Firstly being that they were not granted enough opportunity to argue. ED has claimed that every time ED's counsel tried to argue before the Delhi High Court, they were asked to cut their arguments short. Therefore, they're saying that they were not even granted a proper opportunity to oppose the grant of bail to Arvind Kejriwal. Secondly, they've also said that the court has not fulfilled its duty as the PMLA law requires the court to. Another important point pointed out by the Enforcement Directorate is that Arvind Kejriwal had earlier before the High Court also made similar submissions and arguments that his lawyers have made before the trial court. Considering the High Court dismissed Arvind Kejriwal's arguments, the trial court, being the lower court, was in fact bound by the order of the High Court, which had dismissed and had refused to accept Arvind Kejriwal's arguments. Not just that, they've pointed out that the lower court was bound as far as the law goes. It's very clear that the trial court was in fact bound to grant some time to the Enforcement Directorate to avail the legal remedies. However, contrary to that, the Delhi's Rouse Avenue Court refused to permit Enforcement Directorate to get a stay for 48 hours on the bail order to enable them to challenge the same order before the High Court. The hearing is presently going on before a vacation bench of the Delhi High Court, and it's this hearing which will, in a way, decide whether or not Arvind Kejriwal will be able to walk out of Tihar jail. Back to you.
I just want to bring in now Nalini Sharma also on this broadcast. Nalini, one particular point stands out really in the argument so far, which is the ED referring to the order from the trial court as perverse, citing Section 45 of the PMLA. It was because of this particular section that it becomes a lot harder for the ED right now to argue their case, because the court has gone through that and despite that given bail to Arvind Kejriwal.
Section 45 of the PMLA.
Apologies. We'll just reconnect with Nalini. We're having a bit of a problem with her audio, but more updates coming in from the court where the ED is currently arguing, saying that they weren't given an opportunity to argue in court because every time they spoke, the judge said that a judgment needs to be pronounced, and that's why the ED counsel says, I was given limited time to argue. The bench asked then the ED counsel, all these arguments which you wanted to make, are they a part of your petition? The ED counsel says, I wasn't given an opportunity for a rejoinder despite the fact that new facts were brought in. The judge was in a hurry to conduct the hearing. She hurriedly disposed the case. So that's a big charge coming in from the ED. And I'll take in Srishti again on this. Srishti, a big charge by the ED. Essentially, they're questioning the trial court judge, saying that we weren't given an opportunity to speak. Also saying that she was in a hurry to pronounce the order. So every time we made our arguments, we were cut short. I don't think Srishti can hear me. We'll go back to her in just a bit. So those updates coming in right now from the court. We are hearing at this point that at this point you've got also Arvind Kejriwal's counsel arguing, questioning if this really is an exceptional category case as the ED has cited. The bench at this point is saying that we will listen to all arguments from both sides before taking our decision. So they've made it very clear that they're going to give a chance to the Enforcement Directorate to explain why they've approached the High Court with this particular petition and what their argument is in particular in this case. And at this point, more information that's coming in right now from the courts is that the ED lawyer who is currently arguing has maintained that they were given limited time to argue, and all of this was reported at large, that every time he wanted to speak, the judge said that the judgment needs to be pronounced, and that's why he was cut short. The ED are in fact also arguing that the opportunity for a rejoinder wasn't given despite the fact that new facts were also brought in this case. And that seems to be the premise really of the argument right now by the Enforcement Directorate in court. Sharma is joining us with more details on this. Nalini, the basic argument being put forward by the ED, perhaps in the absence of a court order, is that we weren't given enough time in the trial court for our arguments to be put forth, and levelling serious allegations here because you've got them directly saying that the judge didn't give us time. She wanted to pronounce a judgment and so kept cutting us short.
Well, Akshata, Section 45 of the PMLA, which is at the crux of this entire bail order, deals with primarily three things. Number one, it says that the burden of proof is on the accused under a PMLA case to prove that he is innocent at the time of grant of bail. So at the time of grant of bail, Arvind Kejriwal had to prove before the trial court that he is not involved in any kind of wrongdoing related to the Delhi excise policy case, on the basis of which the bail was granted. The second condition that is part of bail under the Section 45 of the PMLA is that the accused, if granted bail, will not commit any similar offence while he is out on bail. On that aspect also the judge was satisfied. The third aspect under Section 45 is that when it's an issue of grant of bail, the prosecution needs to be given a fair chance to oppose the bail. Now it is this third part of Section 45 that ED has picked up and claimed before the Delhi High Court that they were not given a fair chance to oppose Arvind Kejriwal's bail, and they are saying that on the basis of the fact that the judge seemed in a hurry to wrap up this entire case and pass a judgment. But this, at the same time, there are two main aspects that need to be considered. One, this argument was not made by the ED before the trial court itself, that they were not getting a fair hearing. Two, Arvind Kejriwal's lawyers have strongly opposed this argument because this directly casts aspersions on the vacation judge Nyay Bindu, who granted bail to Arvind Kejriwal, because the argument being made by the probe agency is that they were not given a fair hearing. Another very important thing that the ED has said is that in the rejoinder arguments that were happening before the trial court, there were several new points that Arvind Kejriwal's lawyers had brought in, which the ED was not given a fair chance to oppose after the rejoinder arguments. So on these aspects, they've challenged the order and they've asked for a stay. On the other hand, Arvind Kejriwal's lawyers, who are being led by senior advocate Abhishek Manu Singhvi and Vikram Chaudhary, have both stated that there is no question of a stay in this order. It's very important to remember, Akshita, that even while the hearing was going on before the vacation judge, before the trial court, the judge had herself stated that this is a very high-profile case, which is why she wants to wrap it up in an expeditious manner. I think it was 2 or 3 days of arguments that happened before the trial court, after which finally the bail was granted by Judge Nyay Bindu of the Special MPMLA Court in Rouse Avenue. So it remains to be seen whether or not the High Court will follow the same line of thought. In fact, because the trial court has said some very strong observations they've made in the order that was passed granting him bail, to the extent of saying that the evidence that the ED has against Arvind Kejriwal is actually not enough to keep him behind bars, and ED cannot continue to do so. So in light of such observations coming in from the trial court and the fact that Arvind Kejriwal has been granted regular bail, it remains to be seen whether or not the High Court will reverse that order, because it's very rare for a court to reverse an order of liberty, any liberty that is being granted to any person. So the ED, it is going to be an uphill battle for the ED to make out a case before the High Court, but they have managed to get an interim stay. As to whether or not they will be able to get a proper stay in this entire case is something that remains to be seen during the course of the hearing that's going on before the High Court right now.
So the High Court making it very clear that they will hear arguments in detail from both sides before taking a decision. So they're giving ED that platform right now to go ahead and put forth their arguments. And the ED lawyer just now saying also that the judge did not go through all the documents we've submitted. You have to work on the case which has come before you. How can you, referring to the judge, not want to see the documents because they are bulky? So one comment after another, Srishti, against the judge here that the ED is putting forth. They say very clearly that we weren't given enough time. The documents we submitted weren't, scrutinized clearly by the judge. So they're pinning the blame completely on the judge here, on Nyay Bindu, for what's happened.
Well, yes, clearly, Akshata, remark after remark that are coming in from the Enforcement Directorate, serious claims against the judge. The court, the special CBI Judge Nyay Bindu, decided the case in favour of Arvind Kejriwal yesterday. While that was expected would happen at least after the mentioning today, was because the main ground on which the ED is opposing or seeking a stay, at least as of today, is questioning the manner in which the hearing was conducted, making direct implications against the judge herself. They're very clearly saying that they were not granted opportunity to argue. Now, when they mentioned the matter today before the Delhi High Court, remember that the order copy was not out yet. So, the grounds that we saw ED point out, or ED's lawyer point out before the court, were remarks and claims against the judge who decided the matter yesterday and granted bail to Arvind Kejriwal. According to Additional Solicitor General, he was not given, it was ASG SV Raju who had also argued before the trial court yesterday and day before, and what ASG is now himself claiming is, and he admitted that it's a big submissions that he's making, and he's very conscious of what he's saying, and why he's saying it is because it's true. He's claimed that he was not given an opportunity to present his arguments. He was asked by the judge to cut short his arguments, and thirdly, he's also said that the judge was in a hurry. Again, another claim that has come is that the judge, he's referring to certain media reports with regard to how the hearing went about, and he's saying that even that the judge also pointed out herself that it's a high-profile matter, and that she will not reserve the order. She'll directly, after the hearing is concerned, she won't reserve the order for another day, and will pronounce the order once the hearing is concluded, which is exactly what she did yesterday. 2 days of hearing is what we saw before the vacation bench, the lower court. 2 days because the judge was presiding only because on those 2 particular days, and it was ED's submission before the lower court that they wanted more time to file a reply, but the court clearly said that she's already heard the arguments, so she will hear more arguments, give ED the time that they need, and then reserve the order but pronounce it the same day. The hearing before the High Court is still going on, and we'll know we'll know more once the
So we're
hearing
looking at the observations coming in from the High Court. Srishti, I'll keep coming across to you for that. In the meanwhile, there's a political fight that's also playing out over the fact that the Enforcement Directorate has rushed in this manner to the Delhi High Court. Let's play out what the AAP has had to say about these developments.
अभी कल ही आपके मुख्यमंत्री को बेल मिली। अभी सुबह ऑर्डर अपलोड होना था, ऑर्डर अपलोड नहीं हुआ और ईडी हाई कोर्ट पहुंच गई ऑर्डर को स्टे करवाने के लिए। इतना ये तो ऐसे हो गया एज इफ अरविंद केजरीवाल इज द मोस्ट वांटेड टेररिस्ट ऑफ इंडिया। देश में तानाशाही इतनी हद पार कर रही है कि ईडी किसी को लिबर्टी भी नहीं देने के, मुख्यमंत्री के अगेंस्ट वो स्टे के लिए चली जाती है। अभी हाई कोर्ट में फैसला आना बाकी है। आशा करते हैं कि हाई कोर्ट न्याय करेगा।
ऐसा कभी सुना नहीं। लोअर कोर्ट के बेल का ऑर्डर अभी अपलोड ही नहीं हुआ, हमें ही नहीं मिला, किसी को मिला ही नहीं। क्या लेके ईडी हाई कोर्ट पहुंच गया और क्या सुन के हाई कोर्ट कह रहा है कि हम इसको सुनेंगे? अभी तो ऑर्डर ही नहीं आया, वे सुन क्या रहे हैं? ईडी चैलेंज किस चीज को कर रहा है? ये तो बड़ी अजीब सी बात है, कभी नहीं सुना देश में। पूरी तरीके से भारतीय जनता पार्टी की केंद्र सरकार इसको निजी दुश्मनी की तरह ले रही है। इस तरीके से एजेंसीज नहीं काम करती जिस तरह से हो रहा है।
So the Aam Aadmi Party, questioning why the Enforcement Directorate rushed to the High Court when the order of the trial court isn't out just yet. But the ED's argument at this point seems to be that they didn't have enough time to put forth their arguments in the trial court, and they've directly leveled allegations against the judge, saying that every single time we tried to speak, we were told to cut it short so that she could pronounce the judgment, so that she could pronounce the order. We submitted documents, the judge didn't go through it because it was bulky. We weren't allowed to put forth new facts that have come in this particular case. Nalini, it will, however, come up that the trial court order hasn't been given just yet. The basis of the bail, the conditions of the bail, none of that is known just yet. So, that is in all likelihood going to be raised in the High Court.
Well, Akshita, since the time that the ED has filed its appeal before the High Court, the trial court order has been out. And the kind of observations that have been made by the vacation judge in the trial court order are really a big setback to the Enforcement Directorate, because the entire case against Arvind Kejriwal has essentially fallen flat because some very strong observations have been made by the trial court while granting bail to Arvind Kejriwal. They have dealt with the evidence. They've gone ahead and said that ED makes a claim that there were 100 crores that were received in kickbacks through the whole entire Delhi excise policy that had been initiated, but the Enforcement Directorate has only been able to trace 40 crores of that amount. The remaining 60 crores have not been even found by the Enforcement Directorate. And as you know, in a PMLA case, in a prevention of money laundering case, it is essential that the money trail is properly established for the court to go ahead and grant any kind of leeway to the probe agency. So if there is no money trail that has been established in the opinion of the trial court judge, it is going to be very difficult for the Enforcement Directorate to try and get her order reversed before the High Court, until and unless they can prove that the evidence that they have is sufficient. Because the trial court in its order has recorded that the evidence against Kejriwal, as far as she's seen, is in fact not sufficient. Now the claim that is being made by the ED before the High Court is that the judge has not gone through all the documents. So if that is the case, that they are able to prove before the High Court, then it might mean that the entire saga of whether or not Arvind Kejriwal will get bail will again go on from the beginning before the Delhi High Court this time, and it remains to be seen what the High Court decides at the end of it. But the trial court order, no doubt, is a huge setback, because specifically under the PMLA, the grant of bail, like I told you earlier, is only done when the innocence of the accused is already proven at the stage of grant of bail. So the fact that Kejriwal has been granted regular bail means that his involvement in the excise policy case itself is questionable, and that can make the entire case fall apart, because the ED has very confidently come out before the court and claim that Arvind Kejriwal was the kingpin of the scam. So if the involvement of the kingpin itself is in question, that how much of water will the case really hold is a question that everybody is asking at this point. At the same time, it is also an issue of individual liberty, because the courts usually rule in favor of individual liberty. And one very interesting thing that has been said in the trial court order, Akshita, is that they have given they've referred to several speeches that have been made by the Chief Justice of India, where they've said that the CJI has welcomed trial court in granting orders in favor of liberty. So they are quoting none other than the Chief Justice of India in the trial court order itself, saying on the basis of that and the other arguments that happened before the court, the bail has essentially been granted. Because earlier we used to see that trial courts used to be a little hesitant. Even more so, the fact that the vacation judge has given, they used to be very hesitant in passing any order that will unstabilize the status quo that exists in the case. But in this case, the vacation judge has gone one step further. It's very rare. It's almost unprecedented, if I can go ahead and say so, that a vacation judge has reversed the order that a regular judge had passed, and reversed in the sense that the regular judge had not even granted bail to Arvind Kejriwal to campaign for the 2024 Lok Sabha elections, let alone grant him regular bail. But the vacation judge, on the other hand, has said that there is no evidence against him, or at least there is insufficient evidence against him, because of which he has now been granted bail by the trial court.
Interesting developments coming in right now from the High Court, and also those details of the trial court order. Nalini and Shrishti, thanks for those details.